There is a moment most people never fully understand, yet they feel it again and again throughout their lives. A strange shift in energy. Conversations that suddenly feel colder. Smiles that look the same, but carry something different underneath. A subtle distance that cannot be explained logically. No one says anything directly. No one openly opposes you. And yet, something feels off. You start questioning yourself. Maybe you said something wrong. Maybe you changed. Maybe people are just busy. But deep down, there is a quiet realization forming, one that most people try to ignore because it feels uncomfortable. Not everyone around you is neutral. And more importantly, not everyone around you wants to see you win. This is not paranoia. This is pattern recognition. Because the truth is far more unsettling than people like to admit. Most people do not openly hate you. They hide it. They soften it. They disguise it as indifference, as sarcasm, as just joking, as subtle dismissal, as lack of support. But underneath all of that, there is resistance. And if you don't understand where that resistance comes from, you will spend your life confused, trying to fix something that was never meant to be fixed. Most people grow up believing a simple illusion, that if they are kind, respectful, and good to others, people will naturally return that energy. That relationships are based on fairness. That effort and intention shape how others treat you. But this belief ignores something far more powerful that operates beneath the surface of every interaction. Human beings are not driven primarily by fairness. They are driven by positioning. Every social environment has an invisible structure, a hierarchy, not always obvious, not always spoken, but always present. People constantly evaluate where they stand in relation to others. Who has more influence? Who commands attention? Who is respected? Who is ignored? And the moment you begin shifting in that structure, reactions begin. Not always consciously, not always intentionally, but predictably. Because your growth disturbs positioning. When you improve yourself, when you become more confident, more disciplined, more focused, you are not just changing your life, you are changing your position. And when your position changes, it forces others to reassess theirs. This is where the tension begins, because most people are comfortable when everything remains stable, when roles are predictable, when no one disrupts the balance. But the moment someone starts rising, improving, or thinking differently, it creates something uncomfortable in the environment. Comparison. And comparison is dangerous, not because it is inherently bad, but because it exposes reality. Someone who was comfortable before now has to face a new question. Why am I not where they are? And that question creates pressure that most people do not know how to handle. So instead of using that pressure to improve themselves, they redirect it toward you, not openly, but subtly, because direct hatred requires courage, and most people do not have that. Instead, they express it through small behaviors. They downplay your achievements. They ignore your progress. They become less supportive. They make passive comments. They stop celebrating your wins. They create distance. And all of this happens while maintaining the illusion of normalcy. This is what makes it difficult to detect, because on the surface, nothing has changed. But beneath the surface, everything has. Machiavelli understood this dynamic clearly. He did not view human relationships through emotional ideals. He viewed them through power, through positioning, through how people behave when their sense of stability is threatened. And one of the most important things he observed is this: people are more threatened by your growth than your failure. Because your failure confirms their position, but your growth challenges it. Think about this carefully. When you struggle, people feel comfortable around you, not because they are cruel, but because you are predictable. You fit into the existing structure. You do not disrupt anything. But the moment you begin improving, the moment you start thinking differently, the moment you stop seeking approval, You become unpredictable, and unpredictability creates uncertainty. Uncertainty forces people to reassess, and reassessment creates discomfort. This is where subtle resistance turns into silent dislike, not always because they truly hate you as a person, but because your existence, in your current form, makes them uncomfortable. And instead of confronting that discomfort internally, they project it outward. Now here is where most people make a critical mistake. They sense this shift, they feel the distance, and their first instinct is to fix it, to explain themselves more, to be more agreeable, to seek approval again, to make others comfortable. But this approach only makes the situation worse, because it confirms something. It confirms that you are still dependent on their validation, and dependency reduces your position. The more you try to be liked, the less you are respected. And once respect is weakened, subtle dislike becomes easier to maintain. This is why Machiavellian thinking does not focus on being liked. It focuses on being understood, on understanding the structure beneath behavior, on recognizing patterns instead of reacting emotionally. Because once you understand that resistance is not always personal, it becomes manageable. You stop trying to change how people feel about you, and instead, you start controlling how you position yourself within the environment. Now let's go deeper. Because not all resistance comes from the same place. There are layers to this. The first layer is insecurity. When people see someone improving, it highlights their own stagnation, not in an obvious way, but subconsciously. And that subconscious awareness creates tension. They may not admit it, they may not even recognize it consciously, but it influences how they behave around you. They become quieter, less engaged, less supportive, sometimes even dismissive. Not because you did anything wrong, but because your growth reflects something they are avoiding. The second layer is loss of control. Every relationship has a dynamic, a balance of power, even if it is subtle. Some people are used to being in a position where they influence you, where you seek their approval, where they feel slightly above you in the hierarchy. But when you begin changing, that dynamic shifts. And when people lose control, even in small ways, they react, not always aggressively, but strategically. They may test you, they may challenge you, they may try to bring you back into your previous position, and if that does not work, they withdraw. The third layer is competition. Even in environments where people claim to support each other, competition exists, sometimes openly, but often silently. People compare achievements, attention, influence, respect, and when you begin outperforming others, even unintentionally, it creates tension, because now you are no longer equal, you are ahead, and being ahead changes how people perceive you, not just as a person, but as a threat. And this is where things become more complex, because threats are not always eliminated directly. They are isolated, ignored, undermined quietly. This is why you may notice that as you improve, fewer people genuinely support you, not because support is unavailable, but because alignment shifts. People align with what feels safe, not what challenges them. And your growth challenges them. Now here is the uncomfortable truth. You cannot control how people feel about you. You cannot force respect. You cannot eliminate silent resistance. But you can control something far more powerful, your reaction. Because your reaction determines whether you lose position or gain it. Most people react emotionally. They become frustrated. They take things personally. They try to defend themselves. They try to prove their worth. And in doing so, they reveal something. They reveal that they are affected. And once people know they can affect you, they gain leverage. Strategic individuals do the opposite. They observe, they analyze, they adjust. They do not react immediately. They do not chase approval. They do not try to fix perception. Instead, they strengthen their position. They become more composed, more controlled, more selective, because they understand something critical. Respect is not built through explanation. It is built through consistency, through behavior, through emotional control. And when you remain stable while others become distant or uncertain, something interesting happens. The dynamic shifts again, because now you are no longer reacting to the environment. You are influencing it. People begin reassessing you again, but this time differently. You are no longer seen as someone seeking approval. You are seen as someone who operates independently, and independence creates distance, but it also creates respect, even from those who do not like you, because respect and liking are not the same thing. Many people will not like you when you grow, but they will respect you if you remain controlled, if you remain consistent, if you do not collapse under pressure, and that respect changes how they behave. They become more careful, more measured, less dismissive, not because their feelings changed completely, but because your positioning changed. This is the shift most people never reach, because they are too focused on being liked, too focused on being accepted, too focused on maintaining comfort. But comfort does not create strength, and it does not create influence. Disruption does, and growth is disruption. So when you begin noticing that people are acting differently around you, do not panic. Do not overanalyze emotionally. Do not try to force things back to how they were, because how things were was based on a different version of you, and you are no longer that version. Instead, understand the environment. Understand the structure. Understand that resistance is part of movement. And most importantly, understand that silent dislike is often a sign that your position is changing, not declining, changing. If this perspective made you see people differently, stay with this, because most people spend their entire lives trying to be accepted by people who were never meant to align with them. And before you leave, think about this carefully. The people around you right now, do they truly support your growth? Or do they only support the version of you that makes them comfortable? Let me know your thoughts. And if this made you look at your environment differently, stay connected, because this is just the beginning.